Hello, storytelling. What is it and why is it so important? I'll tell you why. Stories are the foundation of our world, our reality. It has been mentioned quite a lot by different writers and philosophers that this world only exists within our consciousness. Now, how does that work? In the present moment, God is not really part of our reality, but it has been for a very long time in history, right? But atoms haven't been for most part of our history. And now they are implemented in the story of our reality that we tell to each other. But atoms have always been there. So now that we don't tell about God anymore or the spirits, why wouldn't God be here anymore? Interesting question. So the importance of stories. Children, they learn in play about the world. And they create their own stories. So they have a little doll and then they create a narrative. Or we tell stories to children with books, and that way they learn about reality. What is relevant, what is dangerous, what is important. And also in school we tell the kids about reality. We tell stories. It's the end of all things that we experience, the beginning and the end at the same time. So the importance of stories, what stories to tell, because stories, they bring strength. Once we have a good story in our mind, creating reality, we can use it to become strong. Now how does that work? An example that many of you might recognize is this story that we have in our mind whenever you're walking with a woman that you like. It's quite a recent story, but also old story at the same time, because it's not really that relevant anymore. But it's quite romantic. So you're walking with a lady after you went with her on a date to the movie theater, and it's quite cold. You put off your jacket and you give it to her. You are not cold anymore, because you create this story of you being strong and not cold, and you're able to gift this jacket to her. But if you're walking alone in the forest and you think, oh, I'm cold, and that's the story that you have in your head, you don't have any other reality in your head to make yourself feel like you are strong and you're able to handle the cold, then you become cold. But what if you would be walking in the forest and you imagine that you're some sort of warrior, some sort of Viking, or some sort of madman that is walking on bare feet while it's actually quite cold, and then you fantasize about how you're doing this for a greater purpose, for some sort of mystical force. Maybe you're going on a travel to a battle, maybe you go to deliver some letter to the king. Whatever it might be, fantasy or not, create the story. Create the story of your life. Now, what is fiction and what is not fiction? Good question. Nothing is fiction. Everything is real because we make it real, but some realities are more relevant than others, right? So for a very long time, spirits and God have been very relevant and present in our life. As humans, we've been always focusing on these entities, and now not anymore. Because the story-making tools that we believe, like the typewriters, have been replaced from us as storytellers to something that we created externally, which is science. Scientific devices to prove that things are real. Then it's proven, and then that dictates the story. We only believe the stories which are proven by things that we invented ourselves. Well, we can invent anything with our mind already. So I want to create my own reality and my own story in this life. Because I dictate reality myself. Imagine someone is trying to lose weight. They're very overweight. And I say to them, you're really a fat ass and it's gonna take years for you to become thin and healthy. That becomes the reality of it. Because I have a responsibility to dictate and shape our reality. I have a responsibility for others. Imagine if I would say, wow, you inspire me so much because you're so motivated and engaged on your journey to get healthy. Then that person's gonna be like, yeah, that is me, that's my story. I am very motivated. Instead of, yeah, I am a fucking fat ass and I'm gonna take years to get healthy and feel happy. That's not the story that we want. It's the same reality, different story. And the stories actually shape our experience of reality. So we dictate and make reality by telling the story, the power of the word. Now, how does that work? Of course, I cannot just say, okay, I want to have the hand of a bear, for example, because that doesn't really make sense. It's not really making, it's not, it doesn't really work in, what? Oh, just kidding. Yeah, it's a glove. But you get the idea. So there are boundaries to the reality that we can shape with stories, right? But as you might see in another video that I'm going to post about trees, specific type of trees, white trees with big eyes and their function in our reality, guarding some sort of area. That's a story that I experience for real. And that reality I want to represent to you, so that reality might become a little bit more multidimensional and a little bit more fantastic. Because life is very, very fantastic. It's incredible, actually. Try it out. Life is really cool. And our consciousness is dictated by our awareness, and our awareness is dictated by our consciousness. Now you can think for a very long time about that, try to meditate on it. Or you can listen to how I explain it and try to kind of understand. So consciousness is dictating our awareness. So we're conscious to the degree that we are aware, and we are aware to the degree that we are conscious. So how does that work? Imagine I am walking, right? And my body is aware of the wind. I feel it on my skin. It's aware. I am aware because I am also my body, but my consciousness is not aware of it because I'm thinking about other things. I'm not conscious about it, right? So I'm aware but not conscious. But then at one point I might be like, oh, now I'm cold, and then I become conscious because I understand it's because of the wind. So other way around, you might be conscious of something. You might have heard that there is some sort of spirit of the trees. You're conscious about the fact that it might exist, but you're not aware of it yet because you haven't experienced it. You know, imagine that you never went to the sea. You're aware, you're conscious of the fact that there is a sea somewhere on the planet. You've seen pictures, but you've never been there, so you're not aware of it. You cannot represent it. It's the same as the earth. Is it round or is it flat? Well, you're conscious that it's round, but you're not really aware that it's round, because for all you know, it's all flat. You're also always kind of walking on a flat surface. So you're aware of the fact that it's flat, but you're conscious of the fact that it's round, if it's round. I don't know. I really don't. Honestly, I don't know. I don't really care. But the same way goes with stories. So if we don't teach our children about specific things in their consciousness as they're playing, fantasizing, creating reality, they will never be aware of it. Thank you, tree. The tree was kind of like, okay, it's enough now. My phone was here. Now it's like, now you have to get your stuff and get out of here. So I will do it. Thank you, tree, for this inspiration. We'll just see you next time. So, yeah, so these children, and there are a lot of children also, children that are maybe 50 years of age and children that are 40 years of age. Here you see a 22-year-old child with a bear glove. We're all children because we're all learning. Children are basically people that are learning and are unaware of specific things. They have to be taught and they like to play. Now children are also at the same time the most wise because they are the most open to fantasize and create reality. And reality is everything that you can imagine. So children have a very big imagination, and that way they are the most wise because they're tuned in the most with every possible reality. that is here right now, right? So how does that work, reality? I'm walking here, I have my headphones on right now, but the reality of this place is that there are birds whistling. Now children might be more aware of that and also more conscious of that. Um, and they might show adults like, hey, wow, look at that bird over there, right? Because they're not aware, neither conscious, because they're in their head thinking about what kind of new headphones they're going to consume or whatever, something like that. All right, so I don't really recall where I was at. Children, they have to be educated about specific realities, or at least be empowered to shape their own reality and trust their awareness, their experience of this life, and integrate it into their consciousness, right? So children might actually experience some things that other people have never experienced in their lives because they're still very pure and nobody talks about it. But then they're so young that they cannot formulate it, so it's just kind of ignored, and nobody is trying to empower them to, have the power of creative creation and express it and communicate it somehow to the world. So we all stay unconscious of it because these kids are aware of it, but they don't know how to communicate it because they're children, of course, obviously. So that's why we have to empower kids also to express themselves in creative ways, because in creativity, so many children, for example, they're making these illustrations of things that we ask, like, what is that, right? A child makes an illustration, we ask, oh, nice, what is it? And then we try to, and then the child has to explain with their words, but they didn't make a drawing because they wouldn't have made a drawing if they could have told it you, right? So then the thing that they made becomes the thing that they are telling, and then it's flat again because we don't understand. We have to look at that drawing and try to, like, wow, what is this? I've never seen something like this in my life. Oh, the water is warm. Nice. Spring is here, so it has been very sunny all day. But we're not thinking like, wow, what is this? This is like they just invented some new reality that I can connect to. No, we try to kind of like make it into the reality that we already know that exists. Like, oh, it's a bike, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's Superman. Oh, sorry. But you get what I mean, I hope. So yeah, that is how I try to explain you're only as conscious to the degree that you're aware, and aware to the degree that you're conscious. It seems like a paradox, but the fact of the matter is that you're a multidimensional creature that has as well awareness as consciousness. You have a mind and also a body to experience this world and reality. So yeah, that is the importance of stories, because we get to shape, dictate, re-understand, enrich our understanding of life. We have to get rid of science dictating our stories. We have to get back into the books. We have to rewrite our own reality, our own history, because we have shaped a world that is so freaking boring, like so boring. Our reality that is taught in school is so demotivating, not magical. It is one of the most boring versions of reality. Like, they're boxing it in more and more until it's just this very dry version of reality where you're like, yeah, like a gaming TV, consuming sugar and working is really all there is to life. And good luck finding the love of your life in that way. I write every day. This book I started writing last week, and I'm already, let's see, I think I have maybe 10 pages left. I'm here now. It's a bit more than 10 pages. And sometimes I think to myself, Nah, I don't think that anymore, but I thought so at one point, a few years ago, am I not romanticizing my own life when I write about it in this romantic way? Because I'm writing very romantic, all these little details that are so beautiful in life, these communications, etc., etc. And then I realized, no, I'm not romanticizing my own life by writing about it. I'm only realizing how romantic it actually is by writing about it. Because the reality is there, I just have to connect to it and shape my consciousness and create that experience of reality for myself. You know, it can be raining right now, but if you don't choose to dictate your own experience of that reality, if nobody would do that, then this lovely song about singing and dancing in the rain, it would not be there. But this individual just chose to dance in the rain and shape a reality in the form of a story, in the shape of a song about dancing in the rain, because they chose to create that reality. And now so many people, when they're out on the streets and it's raining, not all of them, but a lot of people, they think of singing in the rain. And they start to sing in the rain because they know in their consciousness that that is a potential reality, and then they tune in with the awareness of that reality to experience, to shape, and they make it. So, what other great thing? What other terrible things can we make great? Because too many great things are made terrible in this world right now. Too many lovely days are made to be very boring, very traumatizing, very sad, very flat, because we write stories in our own mind in a wrong way, because we talk the power of the word in a wrong way to each other. We're complaining too much. Stop complaining, start dictating and confirming magical realities. Woo! Wow, that's a nice video. I wish you a lovely, lovely life. Me and my two braids. Bye bye.